Welcome back to our Python beginner series. Today we're going to learn how Python can automatically organize your downloads folder by file type. It's a practical task that'll make your digital life much neater. Let's go ahead and dive on in. As a reminder, make sure that you have Python installed. Otherwise, let's go ahead and create a new Python file here. And I'm going to go ahead and name this one organize underscore folders. Go ahead and save that. So before we really start coding, let's go ahead and import the necessary modules. So the first thing we're going to import is OS, and this provides functions to interact with the operating system. Then we're going to go ahead and import shutil, I actually don't know how to pronounce that one, which is used for moving files and handling file operations. And then we're going to import time, and this allows for delays in execution. Next, we're going to make a function called move underscore file, and this is going to allow us to move a file into a specified folder within the given directory. So we're going to pass through the directory, the file name, as well as the folder within the parameters here. We'll then construct the full path of the source file. So we'll say that the source equals the os.path.join the directory and the file name. Afterwards, we're going to construct the path of the destination folder. So I'll say destination underscore folder, and this is going to equal the os.path.join the directory, comma, folder. Now we'll check if the destination folder exists. If not, we're going to go ahead and create it. So in the case of we're going to be organizing music, maybe pictures and documents. If we don't have a folder called documents or pictures, we'll go ahead and create those folders for the user. So we'll go ahead and say if not os.path.exists, the destination folder is what we're looking at here. We'll do the os.make dirs, so make directories. And we want it to be the destination underscore folder that doesn't exist. So this is going to create the new folder, and then we're going to go ahead and print it to the user. So we'll do our F and then our kind of quotation marks for our string, created folder. We use our brace here to state what that folder was, and this is going to notify the user in the console. Then let's move out of this if statement. So let's move back one, and we're going to go ahead and construct the full path where the file will be moved. So we'll look at the destination, which is going to equal the os.path.join, and we're going to be looking at the destination underscore folder as well as the file name. We're then going to go ahead and check if the file already exists within the destination folder, and we'll notify the user or move the file to the new destination folder, and we'll let them know of that as well. So if os.path.exists, and then we'll check the destination here, and then we'll go ahead and check the destination. We'll print to the user that, use our F here, the file name already exists in the, and let's go ahead and pass through the folder so they know exactly what we're talking about, and that we will be skipping this item. So this is going to go ahead and notify the user as well as skip the file. We'll then create an else statement here, and this is going to now move the file to the new destination folder, and we'll also notify them about the move as well. So I'll use our shutil, I don't know how to pronounce that, dot move, and we'll have our source and our destination underscore folder here. So this is going to move the file to the new destination folder, and let's print that it has indeed moved the file name to the folder. Wonderful. So this is going to notify the user of the move. Let's go ahead and hop out of our move file function, because here we've automatically created folders that don't exist, as well as we're going to skip moving files if they already exist at the destination in order to prevent errors. We'll now write the logic to organize files by their extension into the specific folders. Let's go ahead and create a new function to make sure we're out of this other one here. We'll say def to make our function organize underscore folder, and within the parameters here we'll have the directory. So we're going to create a dictionary for defining categories and their associated file extensions. So we'll create a organize underscore rules. Oops, rules like that, which equals, and we're going to use our brace here for our dictionary. I'm going to hit return to go to the next line. And let's make a folder with the name of music. We're going to use our square brackets for our list. And we're going to look at the string values of the extensions. So in the case of music, this could be the .mp3s. And we can separate these values by separating these strings with a comma, then adding a space, adding a new string, so maybe a .wav file, right? And these are going to represent all of our music files. To go to the next organization, outside of the square brackets, we're going to use a comma. We'll then hit return. And let's handle the pictures now. And you can get as in-depth with this as you want. I'm just going to cover some really basic file types, but you can take this template and really expand it to your heart's desire. So for mine, let's go ahead and have a .png. We can also have a .jpeg or maybe a GIF or something, right? And then finally, let's go ahead and do some documents. And I'm going to have square bracket, and we'll look for a .pdf as well as a .txt. We'll then add another comma afterwards, but I'm all good with those three for now. Next, let's go ahead and iterate through each file within the directory. So for file name in os.list.dir, then we'll look in the directory here within our arguments. We'll then construct the full path of the file. So we'll look at our source equals os.path.join the directory, comma, space, file name. Now it's also very important, because we're just moving files today, that we actually skip the directories, as we only want to organize files, not folders. So if os.path.isdir, so is directory, we'll look at the source that we just created above here, and we'll just go ahead and continue. Then we'll go ahead and flag to track if the file is moved. So we'll say the file underscore moved equals false. Next, let's iterate through each categories and its associated extensions. We can say for folder extensions in organize underscore rules dot items. We'll have an empty bracket there. So we'll first check if the file extension matches one of the defined categories that we created above here. So if any, we'll do the file name dot lower, so we can check what it is no matter what the capitalization is, dot ends with, and then we're going to look at the ext, which stands for extension, for ext in extensions. Then after that, we'll go ahead and move the file, and we'll need the directory, the file name, as well as the folder. This is going to move the file to the appropriate folder. We'll then have our file underscore moved set to equal true, capital T, and this is going to mark that file as moved. Then we'll go ahead and break. So this is going to go ahead and stop checking once a match has been found for that file. But what if we have something that doesn't match the file extension type? I haven't included that many here. So let's say we have like a PowerPoint or a Keynote. Well, let's go ahead and now handle a case and move it to another folder called other. So if not, file underscore moved, we can then move the file to a directory, comma, file name, comma, and we'll put it in a folder called other. So this is going to go ahead and organize files based on their extension, clearly defined in the organize rules. It's also going to ensure that dictionaries are skipped and only that the files are moved, and any unmatched file types are neatly placed in the other folder. Okay, and because I wanted to explore time here, let's go ahead and create a function to continuously monitor a folder and auto-organize its files. So we'll create a new function on its own kind of line here. We'll call this one auto-organize. And for this one, we're going to pass through a directory as well as a delay. We can go ahead and print to the user that they are monitoring the directory and then let's go ahead and pass through the delay seconds. This is going to notify the user in the console. We can then say while true, so while we are monitoring, we can organize the folder. We'll need the directory here. And then we'll reference the time.sleep, and we'll be using the delay for that. And this is going to pause execution for the specified delay before checking again. Okay, we are almost good to go. Let's go ahead and now prompt the user to enter the path of the folder to monitor. I'm just going to call this one downloads folder. You can call it like folder to organize, whatever. And this is going to equal the input. Enter the path of your downloads folder, or folder to organize, whatever you'd like. Then let's prompt the user to enter the interval in seconds for organizing the folder. So we'll say the delay underscore seconds equals an int of input, enter how often in seconds to organize the folder. Okay, then let's get permission for the user and ask them if they want to start the auto organization process. So start equals input, ready to start auto organizing your downloads, and we'll ask them for yes or no. And let's go ahead and treat that as lower, so it's case insensitive. And then let's go ahead and handle the starting if they confirm. So if start equals exactly yes, we can go ahead and run our auto organize with our downloads underscore folder and our delays in seconds. Otherwise, if they say no or some other random answer, we'll go ahead and print that the operation is canceled. Okay, we should be good to go with our program here. Let's go ahead and save it. Now, one thing, because we are asking the user for the directory that they want to be organized, I have here on my desktop under the Python folder, I have a folder called automation example test. And within this folder, I have an MP3, PDF, a Keynote file, PNGs, right? And I only have the pictures folder being created. So the first question we might have is, how do we know where this is? If you're on Macs, I'm going to show you can right click on the folder, hold the Option key on your keyboard, and you can see that there's the copy automation example test as path name. If you are on Windows, you can right click on the folder and select the copy as path option, or under properties, you can access the file path there as well. All right, let's go ahead and copy this, and we can go ahead and run our program. I'm also going to open up the folder so we can actually see the organization, hopefully in real time. So I'm going to go ahead and paste my location for the folder here, hit return. How often do we want to organize the folder? Let's do every 10 seconds. Ready to start organizing? Let's go ahead and hit yes. And we can see here that it's automatically organized everything. I kind of put the folders over here, but that's totally fine. So we have our pictures, and we can see our PNGs are properly in there. We have our documents with the PDF, we have the music, and because it didn't know where to put the keynote, it put it in other, right? The .key file was not in the ones that we specified. We can see that's also handling our .ds store, because on a Mac already exists in the other, skipping this item perfectly. I have some other random PNGs in here, so I'm going to go ahead and copy this random screenshot. I'm going to paste it in the thing, and we can see here that it's moved the screenshot to the pictures folder and pasted another PNG, right? And we can see that every 10 seconds, it's going to be automatically cleaning up our files, which is really, really great. So today we automated organizing our files by type, making our digital workspace tidy and efficient. Mastering automation is crucial for productivity, and we'll be doing another video on automation down the road, and we'll actually organize my very, very messy downloads folder. It is quite the mess, but this is a great introduction to automation, and let me know in the comments below what you decided to organize, or if you have any questions. Next, we're going to explore web scraping with Python. Subscribe, and remember to dream big and code bigger.